There is nothing. Only warm primordial blackness. Your conscious ferments in it. No larger than a single grain of malt. You don't have to do anything anymore. Ever. Never, ever. Never, ever, ever, baby. An inordinate amount of time passes. It is utterly void of struggle. No ex-wives are contained within it. You got it, sweet brother. Nothing upon nothing upon nothing. I know you do, baby. I know. Coming right up, sir. Smooth passage. All right. Nothing town to fuck all borough. Not you. Your days of giving a shit and being that type of animal are over. The song of death is sweet and endless. But what is this? Somewhere in the sore, bloated man meet around you. A sensation. Like a fly to the ointment, your conscience sticks to it. The limbed and headed machine of pain and undignified suffering is firing up again. It wants to walk the desert, hurting, longing, dancing to disco music.
The stench of liquor rises from your mouth, and with it, an ungodly headache. A fiery streak penetrates your skull, trying to force your eyes open. It's a sound, a clarion call from hell.
A mirror hangs above a bent and broken sink. In a fierce discharge of masculine energy, someone has ripped half the faucet off. Hot water sprays from the base and steam covers the mirror. You cannot see yourself, just the outline of a man. Suddenly, you realize you have no memory of the face that awaits you there, underneath the soft vapor. As you slowly reach your hand towards the surface of the mirror, abort. You clearly have not thought this through. You won't like what you see there, and you will never unbecome it. Behold. You have no idea who this thing is, do you? Whatever it is, at least it's dead now. There's clearly rigor mortis on your face. Oh wait, is that an expression? Are you trying to make an expression with that face? Please stop. It's horrible. You're scaring yourself. Oh my God. You can't stop. It's like it's not even voluntary anymore. You have worn that grin into your face and now it won't come off. What does it even mean? What is the emotion you're trying to convey? You are correct. It's too late. Like an image on film. The expression belongs to your primary motor cortex. It would take a minor neurological miracle for you to cease producing it. Like the rest of you, It comes from a bad place somewhere in the past. That's all you know for now. This fan has two chain pull switches. One ends in a tiny fan, the other in a light bulb. A truly horrific neck. You swoop up and catch the tie. Snap. It's released from the blade. What you have in your hand is a truly hideous necktie with 4 or 5 different patterns. The knot reminds you of a noose. A terrible mistake. Turn the lights off immediately. You can practically feel the photons burning a hole in your brain. It's just a little hangover-induced photosensitivity. Don't overreact. Little black spots dance on your retinas. It's almost pleasurable. You hear a jingle. Keys are clinking in the pocket of your flare cup. It says, the window stands broken in its frame. Cold wind blows in. The morning light hurts your eyes. It's hazy, but you see the ocean and some war-torn buildings. The shards face outward. Whatever broke this window came from the inside. A fine web of scarring covers the back of your right hand, but none of it is recent. More likely a projectile than a held object. There are no fragments on the floor from pulling a tool back in after impact. It is too large for a bullet, yet too small for a piece of furniture. You're looking for something heavy and larger than your fist. The single green shoe you found fits the hole almost as well as your foot. It would have also been heavy enough if thrown with force. Congratulations, you smashed the window with your own shoe. Now you only have one. If you're lucky, you could still find the other one on the balcony outside. The door to it should be outside your room. The window agrees. Its cracked smile is cold and sparkly. There they both are, 2 identical shoes, both copiously green and indiscriminately snakeskin, reunited on your feet. Good, they're balanced, comfy. Feels like the only good thing about you right now, truth be told.
Hello, officer.
young woman raises a cigarette to her lips. Her eyes are brown and her face is speckled with birthmarks. She can't be more than 28. A bespectacled man in an orange bomber jacket. As you approach, he narrows on the sleeve of his bomber jacket, as well as on its back, are the same enigmatic white rectangles as on your blazer.
Hello, I'm Kim Kitsuragi, Lieutenant, Precinct 57. You must be from the 41st.
You realize he is waiting for your name. Raphael Ambrosius Cousteau. No, you won't. Raphael Ambrosius Cousteau. Sounds solemn and historical. This is an opportunity to start your life anew as a classier person.
Yes, well, it looks like we had a little scheduling error on Sunday. Saturday too, actually. Have you had time to talk to the manager here? Then we should ask him for a rundown of the area. Get me up to speed. I understand the scene is out back, right? It also wouldn't hurt to assure him the police are finally here. In full force, I mean. Have you mapped out the initial interviews? Okay, we'll have time for that after we take a look at the coroner's case. Have you removed the dead body from the tree? So, the body is still in the tree.
This is the first time you detect a weariness in the lieutenant's voice. It is obvious he would have preferred for the body to no longer be in the tree.
Where it has been hanging for 7 days straight. We should go there as soon as we are done talking to the owner.
What a shame. Get to it now. Rip that body down from the tree.
After it's been up in a tree for that long, any kind of ripping is inadvisable.
Delicate goods, filled with stinking horrors.
After you, officer.
If you're about to embark on an investigation, shouldn't you have a badge?
You mean you don't have a badge? Oh, if you didn't have your badge, then that would be very bad. You would need to report it on my shortwave. But since you do have it, we can go straight to the task at hand. Yes? Excuse me? Frankly, Detective, you are in a deranged state. I can't let you proceed without close supervision. In fact, under normal circumstances, I'd be duty-bound to report you. Take it as a token of good faith between our precincts that I haven't done so. Some you time? This is a police investigation, not a journey of self-discovery. You'll still have your evenings to yourself. You might. It's important not to let one's style interfere with their work. Me? I don't see how my life is pertinent to the investigation. Binocular? Is that how they do things over at the 41st? No wonder your clearance rate is so low.
You see a a set of tattered curtains blocking the way to another room. A strange cage-like trinket dangles from the curtains.
Excuse me, officer. The back room is strictly for employees only.
Just as you're about to pull apart the curtains, the petrified voice of the shop owner cries out once more.
Sir, don't touch that. I told you it's off limits for the customers. Parapsychologically speaking, we're done if you decide to open them. I won't be held responsible for the consequences. It's too dangerous.
She looks away, mumbling. Why is everyone always messing with the curtains? Why can't they just buy books like normal people?
No! Please just talk to me, officer. Come here and let's talk this through before you decide to do anything extreme.
Lies. Rip them open, we say. You see a tattered set of curtains and a polyhedron-shaped cage-like trinket. You see a dimly lit room full of dusty furniture and trash. A doorway stands in the back, covered in dozens of scary little cage-like trinkets, your shadow looming over it like an omen.
I warned you, you're unleashing forces beyond your understanding.
A heavy door with a missing handle stands before you, covered in dozens, if not hundreds, of little oddly shaped trinkets and charms. It appears to be locked. What if you just break it down? That's right. Take in your surroundings. You need to have a solid ground and a proper posture if you want to succeed. Steady breathing, solid core. You've got this. With one shoulder forward, you're ready to smash into the door like a battering ram. The room is dimly lit and littered with old barbershop rubbish, but the path to the door is clear. It's made of a solid block of wood, but it has stood there for ages. The hinges are old and coated with a carmine layer of rust. It should be doable. Ow, shoot. Whose moronic idea was it to just run through the door? Don't you know that things like that hurt?
Are you alright? This looked pretty intense and painful, I must admit.
What is going on there? Are you really trying to break down the back door? I warn you, don't tempt the spirits, officer. Don't tempt the spirits or you'll damage the holy wards on the door.
It barely looks like you've done any damage to the door, however. It's still locked and closed, covered in dozens of little charms and trinkets.
You've hurt yourself now. I told you not to mess around back there. What are you even trying to accomplish, you fool? You're only making things worse. Stop it. Be compelled to look at the books. Go to them.
Hello, sir. Step right in. The store is open. Are you interested in a new and exciting book? Okay, sir. I'll try to answer any questions you have. I hope... My name is Annette, sir. My mum, her name is Plaisance. She owns the store. She's inside minding the register or organising the stock. Feel free to step in and browse our wares. I'm signalling that the store is open. Otherwise people might not know. They'd miss out on the crime, romance and biographies of famous people. Thank you, sir. I'm glad to help Mum out with the store. I do my studies at home at the moment. I have to help Mum keep this place running. Mum says it's necessary to do both because it builds character. Mum says a proper worker is dutiful. That's how you get ahead in life. You succeed.
There is stress and unease behind these words. She's reciting etiquette.
Mum says it's peachy. She was a little afraid at first. There's talk about this house being cursed.
You see a set of tire tracks in the brown slush that covers the plaza mosaic. Cop habit. You look at everything. Hard to say. Your vision is blurred and you're having difficulty concentrating thanks to your relentless hangover. The corpse looks at you with bulging white eyes. The face around them does not look human. It's swollen and ready to burst. His lips are fish-like and his tongue like a ball gag in his mouth. You seem to be holding your breath. A cargo belt twists his neck at an unnatural angle. The body below appears stiff. It's letting out an ungodly rot. The smell seeps in even through your clenched nostrils. The smell is repulsive. It pushes in from your mouth, more instant and more familiar than anything you'd Too late. It's impossible to keep in. Your body curls and pushes it out, burst by burst, until a pool of vomit lies under your feet and your throat stings from the stomach acid. The smell of Commodore Red rises from the pool. Among it, distilled spirit and bits of shish kebab.
Keep it. It's not pity. You should wipe your mouth after vomiting. The hangover is clearly making these worse for you. You could use some ammonia to clear your head. Sure you do. You just threw up a lot. There is Frit nearby, east of the hostel. They usually have a small apothecary. If they don't, there's a greenhouse here, and a gardener with a wheelbarrow on the corner of the whirling rags. If she works here, she might have something for the smell.
The RCM in Martinez. What can I help you with? We don't see a lot of police around here, that's all. Of course. What can I help you with? Sure, I'm done with it. Go easy on that stuff. It gave me a terrible headache. Of course, I won't hold you back.
If there's a corpse, then you're going to need those gloves for the autopsy.
Sure, keep them. I have another pair.
Really? None. Maybe just a tiny bit of annoyance.
Hello again, officer. Excuse me? Oh, well, I didn't write it there. I'm just sitting here. I don't know anything about that either. As I said, I didn't write it.
No need to worry, we are not saying you did.
Okay. Well, I didn't.
All around you, rain falls on the great city of... The spring thaw must be here. The snow, looking up at the sky, cold water dripping from your hair. Grey sky like great battleships, clouds colliding with one another. Rain falls down on the world. Your shirt sticks to your chest. The shoulders of your disco blazer grow heavy. The cold finds its way in under your skin. You shiver, and the city shivers with you. You're not dressed for this weather. You should get an overcoat or a patrol cloak. Capeside apartments. Tower blocks crowd one another. 4.4 hallways collapse from the mortar hits of a war that was lost long ago. Clotheslines go to waste in the rain. A yard. Rain falls onto the roof of a woodshed. Coal leaks into a puddle beneath a dead man's feet. He swings from a tree, bloated. Droplets of rain slip from his cold cheeks. Sheets of rain over the water. A flight of stairs leading into the ocean. Wave after wave, the ruins of a half-sunken sea fort crumble on an inlet beyond the Bay of Revachol. Ghosts rise into the sky. The skyscrapers of La Delta, the financial district. Faint golden light seeps from the office windows. Urban coastline, rain dripping off Eternite-covered roofs. Cinder blocks left over from half-finished construction. A defunct research and development building, once seized by revolutionaries. An old, coal city, end of all lines. Your hair is an oily mess flecked with ash from... There's a fleet on the corner. A plastic coat is folded into a small... The great gates of the industrial harbor are locked. A chill runs down your back. You shudder like an animal trying to shake water from its hide. Behind the gates, heaps of supply crates, red and blue metal shipping containers, slick with rain. The Greater Revachol Industrial Harbor is an artificial mountain range. You, on the Martinez Plaza, a small dot looking up at the sky. Droplets form on your eyelashes. La Drusienne, King Dries passenger harbor. Cruise ships flank. Couronne, the lower middle class. Distributary after distributary cuts the... A silvery curtain of rain over the houses. The class divide. A traffic jam. Rain thrumming. The road ascends. A raised motorway loops above the ghetto. Revachol is the capital of the world. Jamrock is the capital of Revachol. It's home. To be in Martinez, where no one goes, at the runoff point of a long-forgotten canal, in the whitest part of town, in the shadow of the day the revolution failed. Standing in the rain, looking north, where Jamrock Rock City stretches inland.
I've a brother in the cut. Where the wood at?
In the rain-swept distance, above the rooftops of Jamrock, a repurposed silk mill stands. It's the only home you have now, but you can't go back. Not like this. Your vision blurs. You wipe your face with your hand. The rain stings your eyes, making you look up and blink. Coalition-era statics hang like apparitions under the cloud cover. Way up there, where rain forms, rotors flutter silently. Your sight clears.
This rain will not let up anytime soon. You should get a raincoat. There's a freight to the east. They sell them there.
A sturdy metal door guards the southwest entrance to the apartment building. It's locked. The door rattles against your knuckles, but there's no response. The door rattles again, but this time you...
Stop banging on the door! I'm not letting any more strangers inside. Ha! The police? Everyone knows the police don't come round here. No, I already told you. I won't be responsible for any more strangers getting into the building. Go check the backyard door. Maybe someone there will.
Madame, I assure you, we are real police officers.
There is no reply. Just faint sweeping sounds inside.
The streets will flow red once more, a great torrent rushing down Rue d'Esperance. You wait and see.
The streets will not flow red with anything. Who are you?
I'm Cindy the fucking Skull. What else do you want to know? Date of birth, blood type, the last time I was tested for Hep C. Sod off, pig man. Art is above the law.
The lieutenant furrows his brow at another one of your eccentricisms. Hatred? Disgust? It's difficult to tell which of the two is more present in her girlish features. The woman on the boat does not notice her staring.
That is on her. Someone's got to keep an eye on her.
Probably the Wild Pines rep. We should talk to her. She's a professional negotiator, though. I have the feeling she will be very cooperative while telling us nothing. You should take the lead. Ask her unexpected questions, you know? Do your thing. Don't be afraid to get a bit wacky. Throwing her out.
Good idea, piggies. run along now. Fuck her shit up good. Impound that boat while you're at it. I'd like to watch her swim back to us on. I ain't no snitch, pigstein. Go forth and forage in someone else.
Actually, there is a shortage of people who talk to us in a normal, calm, informative manner.
We weren't put on this earth to make your life pleasant, fucko. Watch your back, ungulate. You've got eyes on you.
Before you, vapor emanates. In the cabin, you are welcomed by a set of steering levers, a scent of leatherwork and heavy fuel oils washing a metallic drawer.
Take what you need, officer.
He's clearly a little protective of his tools. But what can you do? Work is work. The pry bar, cold, useful for the handles. You can do good work with these. It's robust, lets you see things. The pull-out toolbox slides back into its nest. Preheater gauge casts a warm glow on the steering levers and the radio on its hook. The frequency tableau lights up and the green button labeled Prime Line glows like a feline eye. And then you hear something. The soft purr of electrical kittens. Radio waves cast far and wide over.
This is Precinct 57. Hello, Lieutenant. How may I assist you?
Hello, Alice. Please assist our colleague from the 41st Precinct here. I'm putting him on.
Operating the radio is easy. Just be confident. You've probably done it 1,000 times.
This is Officer Alice Demetri, Precinct 57. How may I assist you?
Under the green prime line, a yellow saved button catches your eye. You wonder what the lieutenant's default radio station is.
As always, it's DJ Mesh and Felicio, and you're listening to Street Freaks FM, bringing you the hottest, the nastiest, the most vulgar.
A flock of seagulls takes off nearby, startled by the roaring radio. Right away, the lieutenant reaches into the cabin and turns off the radio. He's not looking at you as he says,
Someone must have been messing with the radio, or maybe picked up a random frequency. You wanted the prime line, right? Oh, is that what it was called?
Go for it. Turn the radio back on while it's still on the Speed Freaks FM.
Souped up motor carriage for what?
God damn it! Look, it helps me to stay alert on long nights, okay? It's a method. I'm not some kind of speed freak, or... You would be too if you had this motor carriage. But seriously, let's quit joking around, alright? We have a case to investigate.
This is Precinct 57. Can I connect you to someone? Just a second, officer.
10-2, 10-5. This is 41st. Come in. Over. 10-4. What's your status? Over. 10-18. 10-20. Over. 10-18. 10-20. Over. State your message, sir. Over. 10-4. Your badge should have most of your personal details. Look over that. Over. 10-4. Anything else for you, sir? Over. Roger that. 10-10. Over and out.
The white suede feels luxurious under the touch, and the metal clutch handle so very familiar in your palm. Your fingers waste no time closing around the handle. Clutch disengaged. Release the handle. Clutch drops. Right foot yearns for the familiar touch of the accelerator pedal. You have synced with the machine's mechanical circulation. The smell of freshly treated leather, the lack of dirt and dust on the dashboard, and a neat little brush in the cup holder, all seem to be whispering, I'm good, cherished and cared for, in the hands of a tending owner. You feel an uninterrupted connection to the mechanics. After a while, you realize silence is your only answer. Do what you will with it. Of course it's only in your head. Of course it is. But it almost feels as if the clutch handle is gently squeezing back. At the bottom of the sea. So strange. The machine is not on the bottom of the sea at all. It's right in front of you. Well kept. Why did it say that? The handle is pulled back. Somewhere deep inside the drivetrain, the disc is mated to the flywheel again. In the cabin, you see a set of steering levers, a radio on a hook, a pull-out toolbox, and the soft glow of the fuel preheater gauge. As you tap on the gauge, the indicator pin jerks as if startled. It's in the large orange set.
There's no use pressing the heat button. It won't start without the ignition key.
Alternative translation. Don't even think you can drive my MC.
Yes? What do you want to know? I'm afraid you and I are pawns in a pissing competition. You don't know? I assumed you were in on it. It's just stupidity. We shouldn't waste any more time on it. If you want my take, Ask me after we've inspected the victim. Later. Was there anything else you wanted to know about the case? Good.
There are clothes inside.
Don't be shy. These are premium class.
You find your hands deep. The box smells like cat piss, or like an old person with no money.
Economical, but also trendy. Look first hand, buy second hand. Keep the economy moving.
Something cold grazes your hand. Synthetic and sleek. This jacket is the apex of human evolution. The moment at which man became weatherproof, practical, and yet it may deaden your senses to the world around you. Possibly because of the awful typeface.
Good choice, officer. Mega sporty. And it's...
You see two lowly, defeated speakers, thralls, slaves basically, perched atop them like...
I can see you with taste for luxury, officer. Can't keep your eyes on...
A pair of Faun Ultras. The design is impossible.
Those sneakers, mister. Those sneakers are the latest Faun sneakers. Super air, super fine, super cool. Only 50 real.
There's a pile of cheap sunglasses in a small box. A variety of shapes and colors.
You like sunglasses, officer? I've got the latest styles right here.
Abort. These are hideous.
Damn, officer! You look...
They're perfect for concealing your blush. It's going to be very difficult for anyone to
No, you are definitely not buying those. No, I can't. We can't walk around with you looking like this. Okay, fine. Go ahead. If you want to look like a walking midlife crisis, then who am I to interfere?
These are all boring. Boring.
These are all first-rate sunglasses. Premium design, superb...
Wow, a very large red t-shirt with an impressive print. Oh yeah, the print depicts a muscled man striding toward you. A giant sword in each hand. Smells like worn cotton with a...
Sniffing is okay. But please don't try anything too real.
That's dirt cheap.
But why? I sympathize, I do. But this is a for-profit enterprise.
You see a Samaran street vendor surrounded by a motley assemblage of goods. When the name Sileng.
Happy shopping, officer. Everything's cool here. Everything's cool. The goods are...
From out on the bay, a cool wind gathers. It sweeps into the city, tugging at the textile.
You're very cool.
You feel a twitch in your index fingers. There's a finger shootout brewing.
Don't shoot, officer. Have we got an arrest here or just a shakedown? Good one, officer. You're a funny guy. Now, what can I do for you? Then fire away, officer. You mean these delicious pre-packaged shelf-stable meal kits? Really easy to cook, no hassle, really cheap too. Buy some, try them out. No problem here, officer. I get all this from one of my suppliers, an extremely reputable guy. Oh, he's a good guy. I think you'd get along. I'll let you know the next time he's around.
Interesting.
Me? It's a boring story, officer. Who cares about the past? I'm all business now. All Revachol. Very sharp, officer. I'm Serais, from the Sigai province of the Serais Empire. The apricot suzerainty, you know?
The apricot suzerainty is what the Sigai archipelago is commonly known as in Revachol. It's a bit of a fraught term, I'm sure you understand.
No, apricots come from Sigai. My grandma used to grow them. But Sigai is a shithole. That's why I came to Revachol. Here's much better for an independent entrepreneur. Less laws. Speaking of, why not support an independent local entrepreneur? I send half my profits back to my grandma in Sigai. Only the coolest goods in Revachol. I've got sneakers, speakers, extremely comfy pants too. Try them on right here. No shame, only freedom. Good joke, officer. Here we don't have permits. Just economic freedom. Take a look around.
You glance around the decrepit buildings, the miserable weather, the sidewalks strewn with sunflower seeds and a dust-choked air.
It's beautiful. Beautiful freedom.
It is, yes. Anyone can set up their shop whenever they feel like it.
That's right. No permits, no bureaucracy. That's why this city and its law officials are so cool.
If you wanted to be cynical about it, you could say we are here to protect the interests of property holders. I am not, however.
My man, officer, you make all this possible. Without you, this climate would be extremely bad for business. You're part of the Gossamer state. Yeah, cool ruins. I get to sell quality goods like these by cutting out the middlemen. You don't have to rebuild your house, live in a crater, or in a tree. Where can you do that? Only here. No need for discounts at ceilings, officer. Everything's already on sale. Anything you want, 50% off. I'm an entrepreneur, officer. I've got sources, buyers, suppliers, distributors, manufacturers, wholesalers, all extremely cool and above board. Anything for you.
This trash container is locked. The sliding lid has a padlock that says, "Whirling in rags." The body is downwind from here. Maybe you prefer the smell of garbage to the smell of death.
We could try using a pry bar, the one you took from my motor carriage, or...
Did someone say, pry bar? Pry bar, pry bar. Your palms yearn its cold touch, to grasp it once more, as you've done so many times.
We might want to ask for a key from the manager of the Whirling in Rags. He probably has one. And he also has information.
Ask the manager? Bullshit. Go straight for the pry bar and pry this baby wide open. You stick the pry bar into the fissure beneath the lid and push down. It doesn't take much force. With a satisfying crack, the metal gives way. You can open the lid now. Don't. Maybe you shouldn't. Just a feeling. A warning from some part of you. The smell of rotten food rises to greet you. You see soggy cartons, dirty rags, and organic waste.
We're just in time. This hasn't been emptied for over a week.
You see, milk, you've done this before. The movements are recorded in your elbows, the methodology in your... No, searching for evidence in the trash. A box falls into pieces in your hands. Batiste Sola, among the threadbare kitchen towels, as the legs of the slime-covered jeans begin...
The victim's clothes? Drop them in here, officer. Guitar marked blue jeans. Pockets empty. Or the belt is missing. That's it. Do you see anything?
Something slimy catches your eye. A drab, long-sleeved shirt, olive color.
This is a military-type overgarment. No label or serial number. This is the kind of rib-knit shirt that's worn over light armor to conceal it in an urban scenario. Anything more?
The rest of the rags are just kitchen variety waste. A yellow old mug that catches your eye. But other than that...
All right. We should go to Gart again and ask if he knows who put the clothes in the trash. It could be as simple as someone from the hostel cleaning the yard. Or that one. I'd advise against confronting that force.
The lieutenant nods, then looks back into the trash container. It's just organic waste, cold and slimy on your hands. Apple and potato peels, mostly. Unidentified sludge, and the occasional chicken bone thrown in for good measure. But hey, what's this? A blue piece of plastic sticks out from the apple peels. It's shiny. Looks like the corner of something. Something larger. A clipboard. A blue plastic clipboard with moist papers hanging from it. They look badly damaged, but you can still make out forms and notes, written in a man's handwriting.
Officer, is that your paperwork? Yes, it is. Look. This plastic has the RCM street grid on it. You've even got an autopsy form. If you don't mind me asking, how did this get in the trash? Understood.
You pick out a broken mug with an oddly racist depiction of the yellow man frolicking in saffron, only in its social sensibility.
Mm-hmm.
The container sounds a muffled gong.
That's one thing off the list. I think we got it all. You said you didn't want to talk about the ledger. However, now that you have it back, it would not hurt to start taking notes on the case, officially.
Kuno's got this!
Oh yeah! Nappa Gumpy, Kuno!
It's the ledger you found in the trash. A pitiful cabbage of white and yellow papers hanging from plastic board, barely held together by a metal clip. This sad display. There's a piece of toilet paper, or is it? It's a metaphor for you. It's just toilet paper sticking to the back of the plastic clipboard. You can take it off if you want. Still wet, the toilet paper peels off the plastic easily. All you have to do is shake it off with your finger and voila! The acidic stench of rotting food is rubbed off on the cellulose. It now forms the base of the experience. This base surrounded by a faint air of spoiled meat, the stuff of death itself, and then sprinkled liberally with the citrus zest of toilet cleaner. You know, like the bits they put into public piss bowls, probably called Fermi Discrete, or Axel, or something. At some point in its journey, the ledger has seen the inside of a public toilet. Your nose does not understand what it did wrong. The lieutenant observes you, raising and lowering the toilet water-logged mass under your nose, trying to get a good whiff, a good analytical whiff.
Excuse me, I just have to ask again. How did it get in the trash? Okay, no problem.
It's made of dark blue plastic, hard enough to beat someone to submission with. The edges are rounded, however. The U4 size board feels thick and heavy in your hand. Light shimmers on its wet surface. On the back you see the embossed letters, RCM. Something rattles inside, ever so lightly. Is there a hidden compartment? And something small inside, light, made of paper or cardboard, or dried flowers perhaps. The plastic shimmers like lapis lazuli, but it is not see-through. You cannot see to its center. There's pain in there, if you want some. That much you know. With your hands, you four-sized pages hang from the clip screwed to the top of the board. Is not what you end up doing. You squeeze the plastic to slide it open, but nothing happens. Then you bend it some, then crack it. The goddamn thing is stuck. A hot flash of rage comes over you. For a moment there, before it recedes, you feel as though you might just squeeze a tear of anger out of your duct. Makes you wonder, why? The ledger quivers in your hand. As it shakes, the pages rustle. This pathetic mess suddenly afraid of you for some reason. An aluminium block runs the width of the board, biting down on the paperwork. Its crocodile teeth are the only... The surface is interrupted by a silvery sticker. It's rectangular. Looks like an official mark, made to be low visibility outside the...
What? That thing. It's a halogen watermark. We use it for adding information to RCM property. Okay.
While a bunch of sodden papers sag from the clipboard in your hand, it's a sorry sight. They're not exactly white. They're yellow. Once in a while, there's a red stamp that exclaims, case, work, strife, poverty, the general... What do you mean? Is that all? The notebook is annual. It says 51. Judging by the creases on your forehead and the lines on your cheeks, too much more. Going back years, decades even. There is, for precisely one more. 15 pages near the end remain. The ledger only comes with an old, worn-down lead pencil. It will do, barely. But the lieutenant looks at his blue notebook. 2 fat, shiny pens hang from the binder, like large-caliber bullets on an ammo belt. He is not really saying anything, just standing there, looking at them.
Know that I give this to you with resentment.
The tasks you've completed flow out of the blue oblong pen in a bracket. Inspect the victim's body. Interview the cafeteria manager. A satisfying slash sounds across the paper. You're done. And a fuck you to you too. That last one cuts a slash right through the paper. You're a swashbuckler with that pen, Harry, and it feels good. Feels like completion. Things to be done and things already done. The composition of reality. This is an extremely useful tool for a detective of the citizens' militia. Now all that remains is to name the case.
No, actually. Any ideas? Yes. I have to tell you, officer, I don't appreciate ironic titles. They're not going to get it. They're going to think an idiot and a cockfinger were on this case. So, do you have something less funny? Oh, well, then maybe I can suggest one. Oh, that's actually what I was thinking. The Hanged Man. I like that. A good, strong name. We have a very good name for the case now. I'm going to start calling it the Hanged Man. It's good we sorted this out.
Yes, it appears you employ a, shall we say, robust yet literary system. Each investigation has, yes, all caps. Others appear more light-hearted. The guys on a, you like this grimy murdering, don't you? Wish there was one in there about a drug den. You love those. Gets the blood pumping. It's going to take an effort to piece these case files together, but it can be done. Once you're done inspecting them up close. You don't exactly close them, so much as distance yourself from the smelly papers. They're a little further from your nose now. In the back, you see thin, translucent copper. 3. The topmost are misconduct fines. The middle ones, a monetary penalization. These are quite sinister in turn. All in a print so small it could be considered a dozen pages of thin copy. Color of the irises. Predation. Yes, all that remains now. The rest of the stinking cellulose is much worse for wear. Being sandwiched between the board and the rest of the paperwork must... The speakers below are banged up and worthless. The sneakers... A heavy door with a missing handle stands before you, covered in dozens, if not hundreds, of little oddly shaped trinkets and charms. It appears to be locked. You smash into the wood and see a small crack appear on the door frame. It's going to take one more try to break through to the other side. But you've done it.
You're not thinking of trying again, are you? What is this place? Yes, but no one's been here in ages. I doubt the electricity still works. Good thing we have a flashlight on us. Don't forget.
Some specks of dust shimmer in a faint beam of daylight falling from the window. Other than that, the room is dark. An eerie feeling rises in your chest.
Sounds good. Yes? Me? I don't see how my life is pertinent to the investigation. That's a fair point. All right, for the good of the investigation, what do you want to know? That's correct.
That makes him a Beano-clad, completely uncopped material, if you say so yourself.
I can assure you, Detective, that I've passed all the required physical exams within the last year. Can you say the same?
You may not remember taking any little tests, but you're strong as a goddamn ox. Anyone can see that.
Just because your precinct has a reputation for cracking skulls doesn't mean that's the only way to solve a case. Was there anything else? No.
Your brain sends the signal to your lips, but they refuse the order. Something is paralyzing them. You're pretty sure it has something to do with the lieutenant's eyebrow. It's like you're locked down.
Something the matter, Detective?
What's going on? It's like you're a puppet in his hands. The lieutenant relaxes his eyebrow, and you seem to regain control of yourself.
Good. Let's change the subject.
A barbell lies on the floor. The color, it's 60 kilograms. Your triceps hum at the sight of these weights. Show the world what kind of beast it's dealing with. Lift them. An iron safety curtain curves before your eyes, folded. What an odd thing to do. Nothing happens. Still nothing. No one's hurt. Those curtains prove to be surprisingly sturdy. Your fist hurts now.
Can you please try to refrain from attacking random things? Thanks. In any case, there's no way we can get in right now. Let's investigate further.
Bent metal, broken glass. Your path lies strewn with the broken forms of everyday objects. You are the destroyer, the bane of inanimate matter. Look, there's a discarded milk carton on the floor. Why don't you destroy that, too? Kudos.
Yes?
You broke down the back door, the wards, the door. It's all gone now. Dark psychic energy leeching onto my shop. I suppose it's all over now. I guess there's no escape. Just a door? This place is cursed, Detective. They don't call it the doomed commercial area for nothing. Just look at the sheer amount of companies that have failed in this house. I hope you're happy now. Happy that you've ruined everything. Now that you've broken the door, the curse is coming to get me as well.
Host Almighty, she prays, guard me and my honest business venture from the curse that lurks behind the door. Blessed be your name.
Of course you didn't. You're nothing but a policeman. All right. You know what? I'm willing to let you investigate the doomed commercial area. We are set on the path. There's little else to do.
Her facade has dropped. Now you see the curiosity behind the fear.
But before we go on, tell me, did you encounter the malignant entity? Yes, the malignant entity that lives inside the chimney. It takes the shape of a woman, a witch probably. I've suspected that she knows more about the curse than she lets on ever since I first saw her. Yes, I've heard that she's barricaded herself inside. It's connected to the central furnace in the basement. You should go and find it. God knows what she's doing there. Some unnatural magic, I assume. You should go find the entity and ask what happened to all the companies in the building. And do return to me after you've talked to it. I'm quite anxious to know what she has to say about the curse. Annette, yes, my daughter. I hope she wasn't slacking off again with her nose in science fiction. Tell me, was she at her post doing her job like a proper girl? Wonderful. Did you talk to her? Great. On a scale of 1 to 10, how compelled were you to buy books after talking with her? Come now, it's not personal. It's about proper sales practices and market research. I expect an answer. My precious, her dedication brings joy to my heart. If you have children, I hope they turn out as great as my Annette. Mind your own business, sir. In our society, people don't get to tell each other how to raise their children. It's none of your or anyone's business. You must be kidding. There's nothing like that happening. Good, sir. What does a young child do with money anyway? No, I save it for her, as a fund. She's securing her financial future out there. Indeed. Are we done with the jokes now?
Yes, we've had quite enough fun here. Right.
The woman before you scans the store, her shoulders rigid and tense. Every now and then, she nudges her glasses. Hey. Psst. Psst. Hey, you. Yes, you. Word on the street is you're ready to start building communism again. Yes, you're ready to start building communism again. You've built it before. They've built it before. Hasn't really worked out yet. But neither has love. Should we just stop building love, too? Good. We need tender men like you building gargantuan communism. Word on the street is it's going to be 10,000 times larger than any communism previously attempted by human beings. Is that right? You keep saying things like, down with the bourgeoisie, eat the rich, sodomize the landowners, impale all people who have more than 25 real in their pocket. Literally murder all human beings, regardless of their political beliefs. That kind of stuff. Funky style. Very funky. So tell me, do you have any questions before we fire up the big communism builder? Or do we get right down to it? Failure. It's about failure. Of course you do. You are failure. You are communism. Absolutely vanquished, beaten, curb-stomped, shat on. While everyone else is out partying, having a callous laugh, you will reverse the fortune of the workers of the world. You alone, against every living thing, against every human alive. 800 trillion real in the hands of an impossibly well-organized ruling class. Towering city blocks of bankmen who have the ears of prime ministers, million-headed armies of nations, and the love of your own mother. You against the atom, the charm and the spin, where the whole world failed. Matter failed to bend to human will. Human will failed to get out of bed and tie its laces. You alone, single-handedly, will rebuild the dreams of the working class. You are the last communist. Now get to work, comrade. Oh yeah, get the firing squads and the animal wagons ready. Too late to back out now. You can't make an omelette without breaking a few million eggs.
It's not often that I see officers from the RCM in my pawn shop. What can I do for you?
His courtesy is not insincere, but he prefers being alone with his projector, just watching the movement of light across the walls of the shop.
I haven't had any problems myself, though some of my customers have complained about inconsistent law enforcement.
Who are your customers usually?
All kinds of people come through here. Locals, travelers, people looking for a deal, people looking for a keepsake, people who are terminally bored. As you can see, I have a wide selection of goods for everyone to choose from. It keeps me entertained.
He's well composed, but underneath it you sense psychedelic processes bubbling. Some kind of drug, maybe. Entertained? He might be high. If he is, on what? Feeling warm and enthralled by the movement of light, while the mind continues to race forward. Lucky bastard. He's probably on Parolidon. It's tough to come by on the street. A drug developed by the military to treat and prevent radiation sickness. It has psychedelic side effects, and it makes your eyes turn yellow.
Why on earth? These are prescription. I can't really see without them. Parolidon is just something since the People's Pile disaster. I was with the Emergency Relief Brigade. Had to take it for radiation sickness.
He's taking it for mental and physical pain these days.
There's a reason why everyone's tried to forget any of it ever happened, and why no one has tried to repair or replace the pile. So much disappointment, and early death. No one's. Everyone's.
So much bitterness.
A bunch of poor people built themselves a primitive nuclear reactor, hoping for the best. What do you think is going to happen? I like the theory more than the story.
Yeah, you gotta get in on those vortices, my man.
Have you tried it before?
The lieutenant steps away, pretending to admire some of the knickknacks on display. Looks like he doesn't want to get involved.
Every day. You look the part. Here you go, man.
Yes, darling. That's the coalition government ordained Parolidon. Straight into your gut.
Of course. Let me have a look. Anything else you're thinking of selling? I'm not purchasing any more clothing at the moment. Another time, perhaps.
The speakers below are banged up and worthless.
Super cool! Now the premium lifestyle is yours, officer.
The sneakers seem to vibrate in your hands with an almost mystical energy. A small heat emboss on the veneer reads, Solidarity.
No, don't look at the speakers, officer. Look at the sneakers. The sneakers are the stars here. So you did. Now put them on and look at them, officer. Make the people jealous of your premium lifestyle.
A small cabinet.
Just ask me if you need anything from St. Baptiste. We don't stock prescription meds, but we do have... Okay, here. I hope St. Baptiste makes you feel better or... Okay, here. I hope St. Baptiste makes you feel better or something.
There he still is, looking right through you with his white eyes. The body below is entirely dedicated to that corpse smell. Emitting it is... You crack open the ammonia ampoule and breathe in. The odor of death is still stronger. It's a spell of the mind telling you to run, and your stomach to wring itself empty. With your eyes squinting, you stand in it. The man before you is naked, but for a pair of underpants and enameled boots. His skin is greenish, marbled with decaying veins and blotched by lividity. A fading web of tattoos covers his chest and shoulders. The cargo belt used to... There it is, a brave little army. You picked the best one. This soldier is fat and... Get a load of this. The lighter's dark green disposable plastic. Safety's off. Thick, warm smoke gets sucked down into your lungs. Immediately, you feel a warm nostalgia fill your head, body, and soul. Whoa. In your hand, what a funny little cap. Don't let the scary medical warning... The container is warm to the touch. Or is that just the anticipation? You suck a manly dose of the extremely chemical-smelling liquid into your mouth. There it seeps. It tastes like many things, all melting into one conflagration in the back of your throat. As you look around, the world slowly exists, as it did before. Only now, gentle flames lick at its edges, as though it were a photo burning. Not really. It's just a metaphor. The effect of that other this warmth. It makes you want to share your discovery with kin. Why not? This government-developed substance seems very non-intrusive. You could even operate heavy machinery. fire machinery. Please don't actually operate any fire machines. Already you can tell you're going to be slurping a lot more Pyrrolidon. This stuff is going to give you insight into that little flickering light hidden in all human beings. The man before you is naked, but the material appears to be ceramic, delicate and fragile. They feel alien to the world around you, out of place somehow. These are clearly not boots. They're armor, possibly part of a larger set.
Indeed. Technically speaking, these are sabatons, not boots. Ceramic plate. They're under the heel. Fair weather model T500 VE. I'm guessing that's vitreous enamel. This is advanced stuff. The locals probably scavenged it. It would be odd if he had more on after 7 days. We should keep a lookout for these species. The armor could yield information. This is one thing he might actually know.
If you wear those pieces, it will help me protect your mortal coil. Yes, bullets will fly. They always do. And the coil is fleshy and mush and permeable. Cast it in ceramic shell. Resist death. The sabatons dangle off the man's decaying form. Ageless and synthetic.
It is. We've requested similar material for a full set, about 4 years of wages. By catching, do you mean let's not log them as evidence? Let's steal them? It means disciplinary hearing.
The lieutenant nods often. It's part of his unplastic expression range, communicating both professionalism and sarcasm. This time, the latter.
That's for us to find out. My initial report on the area suggests he was a security guard for the harbor company, but that's just hearsay. I agree. This equipment is way beyond what a guard can afford.
A small bell-like sound fills the air. Suddenly, your biceps coil up. Your elbow is sharp and cocked for a punch. Your fist connects to the boot with the same ding. The sound does not appear to get louder. The only difference is a barely audible click underneath. Sounds like the end of a long dice roll.
Did you hear that? A click? This is a kinetic redistributor. It spreads the incoming energy horizontally, from plate to plate. When the plates connect, there's a click. That's the sound you heard. See these lines?
Faint, organic lines cover the plates where they separate into smaller ones. These plates then divide into smaller plates until there are hundreds of them altogether. Like the scales of some ancient white monster, cracked and pearly. This feels dangerous. Are you sure? The stench fills your nostrils. As you push downward, an ominous creaking sound comes from above.
Stop! Pig's gonna pull his head off.
Brutal!
Even the mongrels can see you're about to pull his head off.
Do it, Homo!
Yes, that's what I said. You'll compromise the coroner's case if you do. So please, don't. What are you trying to achieve anyway? Why are you hanging on to that boot? Maybe we should concentrate on what's outside the boot and leave what's inside to the boys at processing? Just this once. Besides, there's no way you're getting them off. All the organic matter in his body has been flowing down into the boots. They are fused to his feet now. Why do you think the locals haven't scavenged them yet?
You're sure there's a way to peel them off, but first the body needs to be down. And second, it would probably be better if the lieutenant wasn't around. The anticipation makes you crack your fingers. Feels nice. Nice and cracky.
Processing will take care of them. With the situation in the morgue, it will yield nothing. But we must pick our fights. Should we continue?
The cadaver slowly twists on the cargo belt, his torso covered in tape. The hangman's knot is pulled tight by the weight of the corpse below. Yellow, oh my, there's something on the belt. A familiar word that speaks to the thirst within you. Vermilion, in yellow letters, along the length of the twisting cargo belt. Only a deep longing for vermilion golden spirits lets you decipher the fading logo of the local brewery.
No, you should not get a drink. You should perform an initial inspection of the victim's corpse. We are on the raw part. Industrial strength, the kind used for tying cargo to lorries. Yes, it looks like they use whatever was on hand, paying no attention to not incriminating themselves. The brief suggested as much, politically motivated by the ongoing strike. Did you not get a briefing? Then you should ask me the first moment we get. It's not merely polyester, it's steel reinforced. See these lines? This is where the wires run. I see rabbits fall. This makes getting him down much more problematic than I had assumed. A noose is one of those things that's easier to use one way around. I think they lassoed the branch, then pulled on the belt, buckle closes. It's what I would do. Seems easier than climbing up there.
The cadaver hangs from the cargo belt, limbs limp and torso covered in tattoos. An intricate web of blue light. His corpse is marked by stars. Alcohol and heartbreak. Your fist clenches suddenly. Decay is creeping on the tattoo. Already, most of the canvas that's holding it has darkened. Now, it disintegrates slowly, letting out a stink.
Of no nation that I know of. If anything, it reminds me of religious illumination, last or penultimate century. Men who live harsh lives often turn to innocentic worship. But which one? I see no trace of a humanoid figure.
The pattern does not stir patriotic or religious sentiment in you. What it does is speak to the wounded, limping animal, the male in particular, unable to communicate in anything more than grunts. It's impossible to tell if its advice is right or wrong.
So am I.
He wears a wide leather belt around his waist and a gun holster under his arm. He takes a thin piece of milled aluminium from his coat pocket and pulls it open. Sounds like a sword being unsheathed. A small lens appears. Some sort of camera.
Etrugat Sunshine. Mini.
Shit, Kuno! What the fuck is that?
An instant color camera. I have only 2 ampoules, so nobody move. I don't want to waste one.
A sound, a shrill flash, followed by the breaking of a small ampoule of glass. You see streams of color pour onto the...
In case we need it. Yes, it is pretty cool, isn't it?
There is only one ampoule left.
It contains insight to the victim's person. Sure, just don't lose it.
The glassy-eyed corpse looks by, his mouth mute and his skin. His eyes are milky white and dark brown hair grows on his head. His face is ready to explode from the organic processes.
I'm gone. Into the wild in the past, way out in the west. The blue heart. Oh, that's good shit. You'll love it. Just press down and fuck it open like you always do. Fuck it hard. Corpopo the clown.
He means force. It'll work.
I'm a joke. Look at me. There is nothing funny about jokes either. A killer, a motherfucker, and a killer.
Takes one to know one.
Go ahead, Cobbo. What do you mean? It's the power of your imagination. Go ahead. Ask me more questions. You fucking love questions. Because you're a copperoonie. Look at all of them go. Do you want more questions? Your lost Copodopo would have been so primo. Do I remind you of someone? There you go. Look at that bright kid. We're birds of a feather, you and I. Soon you will be just like me. Just keep drinking and having a good time. It's a matter of weeks.
Feeling nausea, vomiting, tenderness or pain around the liver area, tiny red lines on the skin above waist level, more like days, Coppo. The clock is ticking. Your liver tells you so.
Come back later, Coppo. Amuse yourself with my frank manners and my memento mori features.
As you narrow your eyes, the monster before you blurs into a violent Only the lower extremities are pink with a dash of blue. His fatted hands, thighs, and his neck, just above the noose. The cadaver slowly twists on the cargo belt, his torso covered in tattoos, and extremities blotched pink and blue.
Are you sure we finished the preliminary examination of the cadaver? We might miss some of these things once he's done. The steel-reinforced belt presents a unique challenge. I brought chain cutters, but I don't see a good angle of approach. The cadaver is a good 1.2 meters up. Neither one of us can reach the belt without assistance. And even if we do, there's the question of cutting it.
There's no question. There's only cutting. How hard can it be?
I don't doubt your physical prowess, officer, but that's aircraft-strength material, and we do not have a secure platform to perform the procedure on. The risk of acrobatic failure is one we cannot take. We must not become comedy for the locals.
The fuck have you got against comedy pigs?
We are not getting him down already. Not getting him down is a task that's already accomplished. Sadly, it's not our job to keep him up there, but to get him down.
Just pull his rotten head off. The meat's cooked anyway. Give the boot another yank and it's done.
It's tempting, but decapitating him will make it impossible to ascertain whether he was really hung. The damage to the neck would make coronary work pointless.
Yeah! Bang bang time, pig! Shoot his head off!
How? Yes, the buckle, where it ties the cargo belt to the tree. If the shot hits that, then there might be a small chance to release the belt.
Yeah, now we're talking. Entertain a Kuno with some shit.
They'll miss! The pigs will miss Kuno!
The lieutenant's brow is furrowed. He appears too deep in concentration to even notice what you said.
I'll blow his head off.
Take it! Take the shot!
Yeah, take the shot. Kuno wants some of that shit.
Silence. With his elbow sharp, the lieutenant unzips his jacket and produces a lightweight firearm. He drops a paper cartridge in the barrel, separates the scouring stick, and gives the cartridge 5 tucks, securing it in place. He then steps back and assumes the fellow's desk position, taking aim. The corner of his eye twitches. His finger is on the trigger.
He's gonna fucking miss!
The kid's voice is drowned in a shrill blast that echoes off the walls of the surrounding tenements. A cloud of smoke slowly parts in the air as the lieutenant steps back and says to himself,
God damn it.
A lot of things were wrong with that shot. The fellow's test was the wrong choice. His shoulders were raised, but above all, he cannot trust his eyesight. Oh my God, that was so many types of wrong. Who taught Four Eyes to shoot? Whip up a grueling training regimen for him right now. Beat the man into him. Go, go, go.
Fucking idiot! Mookabat asshole!
Kuno could have hit it easy, but then Kuno's not fucking handicapped, is he?
I think you have your sports mixed up there, officer. Squaring my shoulders has nothing to do with this.
Bitches fighting.
No, we are lucky as it is. We didn't break anything, and the victim remains uncompromised. Any more mistakes could put us in an unfortunate position with the locals. We have eyes on us. I didn't do us any favors with that.
Kuno's sorry too. Kuno feels...
The lieutenant doesn't say a word.
I have to say, it's beginning to look
You know, you don't feel like too bad of a shot yourself. Take his gun and show him how to use it.
It's bad as it is, us shooting firearms like punks here. Go ahead, I'm not stopping you. Just don't hit the victim.
They only have one gun!
Oops.
This is the sorriest pair of pigs Kuno's ever seen.
Officer, why do we only have one gun?
The lieutenant follows suit. He finishes loading the gun in silence, then hands it to you.
Yeah, take it, you fucking banani poika! Take it and shoot yourself in the mouth!
The cold piece of bakelite and gunmetal is surprising. You've held this, an A9 armistice, before. At some point, it probably used to be your choice of firearm. It still feels comfortable, like you never laid it down.
The fuck are you waiting for, Kuno? Tell him to shoot himself in the mouth!
Kuno is silent. Aggression gathers in the air. The trigger feels delicate and ready to break under your finger. The buckle comes into focus in your sights. You stand with your feet planted firmly in the ground and your left hand supporting your gun arm.
Why don't you just shoot yourself in your mouth? At least you won't miss.
Your field of view narrows. The branch...
Look, he's crying. You gonna cry now, fucking faggoty?
The buckle explodes into tiny pieces, coming loose with a whir. With your hand numb from the recoil, you look at the body slump down. For a moment, the man appears to kneel in front of you, looking straight at you, helpless, trapped within itself.
Communism.
It takes a millisecond for the association to flash within your cortex. You have no idea where it's coming from, only that it's right. Then the rigor in his muscles gives up, and he smashes sideways into the spring mud, letting out a horrid stench.
Fuck you, Korpale!
Ace is high.
You could add an ace's low to it, if you like, by turning your back after the high and waiting for another. The high arrives with a sharp slap. As you turn around, there is a moment of doubt. Feels like that low ain't gonna connect. Chill, it's gonna connect. But then it does, and with furious precision. The lieutenant is not one to leave an ace's low hanging.
I knew these guys were
Kuno cracks with laughter. Sounds like someone strangling a seagull. It's clear he enjoys himself.
I knew they suck each other off.
We will perform a field autopsy and determine the cause of death. But before... Excuse me.
Slumped on the ground like that has not improved the way the corpse smells. The fall seems to have released something deep inside it.
It looks like I feel like taking a break from the stench. I'm sorry to interrupt the jubilations here. Just a little breather before we do the autopsy. In the meantime, we should try to interview Evrard Clare, the leader of the Union. Harbor property was clearly used in the hanging. The harbor just east of here. Getting in might prove a challenge, though. Or we could ask around for the representative of the logistics company. My initial information says the Wild Pines have sent some sort of strike negotiator to wrangle control back from Evrard.
You could ask the gardener for directions.
Yes. And those were the interviewees. Let's go.
sturdy metal door guards.
Are you trying to sneak up on me? Come to slit my throat in my sleep?
Apparently, she doesn't like people standing behind her back.
Pig's come to take me out, trying to snuff me out.
If anything, you're afraid she'll take you out one day.
Then why are you sneaking up on me like that? It's not a good idea to scare me, pig. Not a good idea at all.
You see a young man on a balcony nursing a...
Not looking for any trouble, officer. Sorry, I don't have time for this. I just want to finish my cigarette and be gone.
It's the god of cigarettes and youth. Ask him if he's got anything to spare.
Apologies, but this is my last one.
The god himself has denied you absolution.
Absolution? I don't know that brand, but I'm pretty sure you can get Astras at the Frit. I'm not sure that's a good idea. As you wish. Is it really that important?
Like a nervous cat, he keeps stealing.
All right, but make it quick. Once I finish this cigarette, I have to run.
By God, this young man has the body of a decathlete. His lithe form was practically made for vaulting over the high bar.
Occasionally. Why? No, I just like to look good. Trust me, I'm not a team player. My name? My name is Martin Martinez.
Martin Martinez? Good local name. Let's go with that.
I can tell that you finally got him down. Thank you. It was quite a disturbing sight, even by Martinez standards.
What were you doing last Sunday?
Oh. You already asked me that, didn't you? No, not you two. Some more muscular type.
And when did you speak to this more muscular gentleman?
Last week? I don't know. Look.
You didn't answer the question. What were you doing last Sunday?
I had a friend over. It was my Sunday friend.
A Sunday friend? How intriguing. He doesn't reply, gesturing no with his cigarette. In the neighboring windows, you can see faint reflections of his silhouette, all from different angles. Someone hides behind a curtain. Those windows have eyes, and those eyes are watching, spying on you three.
No. We won't. Now, if you'll excuse me, I really need to get going.
This isn't the place or time for questions. Who knows who might be watching from the distance, hidden behind the curtains? For a moment, the man on the balcony seems almost vulnerable.
I am sorry, but I really don't have the information you're looking for.
But, hold on, what's that? For a split second, his hand lingers, as though gesturing towards a stone placed right next to the front door. It's a sign.
Good luck with the investigation.
He's gone. No point in running. Tenements like these often have multiple exits. If he doesn't want to talk to us, then he'll know how to hide himself. He could be a witness. Him or his Sunday friend. Either way, we need to look into that muscular type who's asking about our case. He did leave us a sign. Did you see that? He wanted... If we find a way inside the building, we can ask around for his apartment.
A stone, like any other, lying in a whirl of sleet and mud. Maybe there's something under it. There's a key beneath it, rusty from the dirt.
This must be for the front door. Pity doesn't have the apartment number on it. This building, we'll just have to go in and see. Yes? Yes? What do you want to know? What's there to say? It's just stupidity. The cop kind. Our precincts can't decide if Martinez... Well, sort of. It's less a matter of who gets to... I think the dispatch desk just told both our stations about the hanging. There was quite the brouhaha at the 57th, I can tell you that. Time to settle it, they said. Cop off. But I assure you, I am not there.
So he volunteered to represent the 57th, but not out of competitiveness. On the contrary.
Yes, I am an unrepentant spoilsport. Martinez? Nothing. It's just a puddle at the end of some drain pipe. No one cares about this place. They care about sports. Most of our colleagues don't even know how to get here. North of the interchange doesn't exist.
A tremble comes over you Another after effect of ethanol poisoning, perhaps, feels like leaves do when they rustle in the breeze, somewhere far away, below the turbine. The 41st and the 57th. The lieutenant was right. It's not about who gets what's north. It's about who doesn't.
A good joke. It's not that many. Officer, I'm sure you have a lot more cases solved. Now, was there anything else you wanted to ask about the competition? If not, we should... Yes, it's a wholly pointless matter. Forget I ever mentioned it.
The pockets of these... Hey, it's a chewing gum wrapper. Not familiar in a good way, you might say. A man in his late 20s with a thin, unimpressive beard notices you approaching. He drops the ledger he was holding and turns to the lieutenant.
Mr. Gart, right? You run this place.
Yes.
I am Kim Kitsuragi from Precinct 57. This is an inter-district investigation, so joining me from Precinct 41...
What?
I have no idea what that means.
What is this, a joke to you? Is this what you get when you call the police now? This guy? We've been waiting for a week here.
Sir, I understand your concern, but we are here to do a job. And for us to do it, I need you to stay calm.
Yes, of course.
I know it took us a while to arrive at the scene, but it also took you a while to call us. It was you who played...
No, I only just got here. It was...
Do you have her number?
As a matter of fact, I do.
This sounds like something you can use to call this Sylvie later.
You said you just got here. From
what? Of Martinez? No. I live in Jamrock. I only...
But you still know your way around, yes?
Yes, I know where some things are, but as I said, I don't...
I didn't imply that. Detective. It's your turn.
Yes, yes. He means, do you have questions for me, like a police officer would? I don't know who killed him. I'm not the police. That's your job. What are you, crazy? Of course I didn't kill him.
Suddenly you tense up. Blood is being pushed to your muscles. You should hound him on this. Hound him hard. The prey drive says.
No, I didn't. I didn't. I don't appreciate this. What is this? Do I have to answer him? Is this mandatory?
The lieutenant stands motionless, his expression unreadable.
What are you, an idiot? I told you I haven't killed anyone.
He ignores you. More. Press on. Push through.
Fuck you, man.
That's enough.
That's a real pity. She went away because none of your business. Does she? Maybe she does. Maybe she pertains to the apocalypse. Sylvie is not here because I asked for her number. The dead body out back didn't help either, but it was mostly me. I hope you appreciate that.
Thank you.
Is it? Because I thought you were supposed to be investigating the lynching, not my employer conduct. What?
That's good. But there is a timetable for this investigation, dictated to us by the stages of decomposition. And it says we need to move on.
No, I'm not the bartender. I'm the cafeteria manager. That period of my life is over. Not everyone... I have 3 cafeterias I manage.
Let's go.
Not so fast, Mr. Feminist. You owe me 130 real.
One moment you're running like the wind. Then you've suddenly turned around and are giving him the finger, furiously, with both hands. Why? That's true, yes, and it's worrying. But let's not fixate on it. Look at that stupid bartender instead. He has no idea what's going on. You and your fuck you fingers floating in the air. Barkeep's got his mouth agape like an idiot. You showed him.
Watch out!
Everything goes dark.
Back so soon. admit it. You just missed the quarter light, the darkness on the edge of town. I was wrong to let you go. I should have kept you here. Is it bright where you are? Is it terrifying? Have you felt the love?
That is too bad. We all need a little love. Are you okay?
You have sustained a trauma to your lower neck. In addition, you have strained your left trapezius muscle. Pain surges down your back when you move.
Ma'am, are you all right?
Oh, I'm fine. He just tripped over my chair. Check on him.
Sir, I didn't mean for this to happen. I'm sorry. The drinks are on the house, okay? There were a lot of drinks on the tab. I still have to charge you for 3 nights and the broken window, though. That's 100 square.
With your back against the cold mosaic floor, you feel the pain recede. You just need to get up and dust yourself off.
Don't thank me yet. You still owe me 100 real. If you don't have it by tonight, I just can't let you up there. And for God's sake, watch out for yourself.
By the way, where is home? The address is coming up blank, and this place sure isn't it. But you've been at this hostel cafeteria for only 3 nights. Where were you before? You had to be somewhere. You don't really know, do you? South, maybe. Doesn't sound like somewhere you can stay if you run out of money. Entertain the thought when you get the time. Maybe being a hobo and a cop has its advantages.